back, hold on tight, and let's go racing. Orange County style on the 5/8 yard clay. Hey, here's how they're set to take to the wire right now for the first of 4 qualifying events in the small block modified division. Your pole sitter, the number 357 car, it's Gary Huber. Alongside Gary in car number 60, it's Nicky Lapp. Row number 2, spot number 3, the HP2 car of Jimmy Hauser. Alongside Jim in car number 28, Tom Foley. Row number 3 on the inside, the 55 of Rich Ricky Jr. Alongside Rich in car number 25, it's going to be Howie Fitch. Row number 4, starting in 7th position, the number 14 car of Donnie Till. Alongside Donnie in car number 6, it's Danny Johnson. Back in row number 5, on the inside, starting in the 9th position, the number 94, it's Joe Sarvis. Well, that's how they're set to take to the wire right now. Oldsmobile Achieve a Pace car, brought to us by Olson Todd. Oldsmobile Cadillac from Central Valley, New York. And that's pacing the field right now down the back straightaway. Oldsmobile Achieve a Pace car from Olson Todd, Oldsmobile Cadillac. It'll be dropping down to the inside right now. And we're just about set to get some green flag racing under our belt out here at the Orange County Speedway tonight. Gary Huber, our pole sitter right now, brings the number 357 car down out of turn number 4. And we're looking for Kenny Marshall's green flag as they come down the straightaway this time. Green flag flies and we go racing. Huber, the 357 car, wasting no time at all, grabbing the number 1 spot. Nicky Lapp, the number 60 car, dropping down to the inside, back there in spot number 2. Jimmy Hauser, the Hauser brothers car, now feels the heat from Rich Ricky as they motor down the back straightaway. Ricky in the 55 car now gets dusted by the number 6 car of Danny Johnson. Johnson on the outside, picks up the number 4 spot. Huber holds on to the lead, coming down in turns number 3 and 4. Huber, our leader, coming out of turn number 4 this time. That's Gary Huber, that 357 car. Bumper to bumper down the home straightaway right now. Nicky Lapp back there in spot number 2, and here comes Danny Johnson on the outside. DJ picks up one more spot down the home straightaway right now. Johnson on the outside for spot number 3. Hauser, the HB2 car. Watch out for Johnson down the backstretch. Johnson takes the high road and grabs the number 1 spot. Dr. J, Danny Johnson, now your new race leader. And he's not wasting any time at all, but we've got some problems down there in turn number 3. And that's going to bring out the yellow flag right now as the number 14 car. Foley, the International Motor Plaza's number 28 car. Well, he's going to have his work cut out for him to try and pick up a qualifying spot in this first heat event. Caution lights have now been turned out, and we're set to go back to racing. Dr. J, Danny Johnson, up there in the number 1 spot. He's going to bring the field of small block modifieds down in turns number 3 and 4. Here we come out of turn number 4. The green flag flies, and we go back to racing. Johnson wastes no time at all, holding on to that number 1 spot. The battle right now for the number 2 spot. Nicky Lapp slingshots down to the inside. Jimmy Hauser following suit right behind. Lapp out of traffic right now, motoring down the back straightaway up there in the number 2 spot. Jimmy Hauser 3rd. Gary Huber back there now in the number 4 spot, and Rich Ricky Jr. back in spot number 5. Howie Fitch trying to work his way up to that number 55 car to grab that final qualifying spot as Gary Huber works over the Jimmy Hauser cars who come down the straightaway. Hauser holds on to the number 3 spot coming down the straightaway, and Hauser gets some breathing space between him and Gary Huber. Huber back there in the number 4 spot. Remember, 5 cars qualifying. Here comes Howie Fitch on the inside. Finch drops out of the groove and goes up a little bit too high. And that lets some problems for Howie Finch as they motor down the back straightaway. Halfway point will be coming up this time with 4 laps down and 4 to go. Halfway point, your leader right now, the number 6 car, Danny Johnson out of Phelps, New York. Johnson holds on to the number 1 spot. Nicky Lapp right there in spot number 2. Jimmy Hauser, the HB2 car, back there in spot number 3. Rich Ricky Jr. holds on to the number 4 spot, and Gary Huber, well, he's the man of the bubble right now, back in spot number 5. Huber takes the Barry's Auto Parts car down the back straightaway right now, and Rich Ricky Jr. picks up one more spot on Jimmy Hauser. Ricky now up to the number 3 group as they come down there in turn number 4. Danny Johnson having no problems at all down the back straightaway right now. Johnson's car really hooked up to the racing surface out here tonight as we look for the 2 to go sign this time around. Coming up on the 2-lap sign as Johnson brings them down in turns number 3 and 4. Nicky Lapp back there in the Bob Decker paving number 60 car holds on to spot number 2. Rich Ricky Jr. in the 55 car. That's back in spot number 3 right now. Jimmy Hauser rides in 4th. And Gary Huber back there in the number 5 position. watch that battle for the final qualifying spot. It's going to be taking shape very, very quickly as time winds down. White flag comes out, and Howie Finch knows it's time to go racing. He picks up the spot over Joe Sarvis going down the back straightaway, and everybody wants spot number 5 as we're on the final transfer lap right now. Watch Howie Finch right now. Down there in turns number 3 and 4. He puts the heat on Gary Huber coming out of turn number 4. Finch drops down to the inside. They battle it down the home straightaway, nose and tail. Finch looks up to the outside. Not quite good enough this time. And Howie Finch wants that final transfer spot as Danny Johnson takes home the heat win. Last lap racing action down the back straightaway for that final transfer spot as Nicky Lapp takes second. Rich Ricky Jr. grabs third spot. Fourth place, it looks like it's going to be a steady one for the number HB2 car of Jimmy Hauser. And at the wire, taking home the final qualifying spot, the number 25 of Howie Finch. Brett Hearn, alongside Brandon Carr, number 73, Johnny Marsh. Then back in row number 5, in the 9th position, the 17 junior car, it's going to be Bobby Hayes Jr. So we got 3 number 17s, and the blue number 17H, that of course is Tom Hindley, the white and black 17, Ralph Hetzler, and the white 17H car, the red number car, that's Bobby Hayes Jr. Comes out, and we go racing out here at the Orange County Speedway. Gary Stevens, wasting no time at all, grabbing the number 1 spot in the Ayers Auto Body number 25 car. Stevens goes racing down the back straightaway. Rich Rosa second, but here comes Ralph Hetzler down the back straightaway. Hetzler, the Montgomery collision car, looking very strong as he looks up to the outside, down in turns number 3 and 4. Billy Eggers on the inside, feels the heat from Brett Hearn. Hearn goes to the outside, picks up the number 4 spot. Hearn, the Miller Genuine Draft number 1 car, coming down the home straightaway right now in spot number 4. Billy Eggers got his hands full back there in that final transfer spot. Eggers feels the heat from Tom Hindley down there in turns number 1 and 2 right now. Meanwhile, Gary Stevens takes that field of small blocks down the back straightaway. Stevens out of Belvedere, New Jersey, the Ayers Auto Body number 25 car, now stretching things out. Second spot, it's Rich Rosa. Third, Ralph Hetzler. Right there in spot number 4, Brett Hearn, but the yellow lights come on. Yellow on around the speedway as the J&T Racing 73 car, Johnny Marsh. 2 laps have been scored. He's your current race leader. Rich Rosa, the 87R car, going to start on the outside of row number 1. Ralph Hetzler, Brett Hearn right now in second and third, and Tom Hindley back there in spot number 5. Olson Todd, Oldsmobile Cadillac pace car, drops down to the inside. We get set to go back to green flag racing. Here we come on turn number 4, and Gary Stevens wasting no time at all once again. Now we've got some problems with Bobby Hayes Jr. Let's see if he can keep a handle on it. Well, the yellow lights are going to come right back on around the... We're going to try it once again. 3 laps down, 5 to go. Kenny Marshall back with a green flag, and we're back to Small Block Modified Racing action. And Ralph Hetzler in that Montgomery Collision 17 car up there in the number 1 spot. Gary Stevens back there in spot number 2. Here comes Brett Hearn. He's up on the outside right now, and Tom Hindley holds on to spot number 3. Rich Rosa back there in spot number 4 right now, spot number 5, as we motor down the back straightaway. Looking at the halfway point this time. Ralph Hetzler comes down to the inside of turn number 4, bringing that Montgomery collision car down the straightaway. Problems with Tom Hindley. He drops out of that groove and drops out of a qualifying spot. That puts Everett Halbrick up there in the number 5 spot. Halbrick now in the qualifying position with the Everett's Carpet Service 717 car. Meanwhile, down the back straightaway, the race going to take place real soon for spot number 2. Gary Stevens on the outside. Brett Hearn closing that door very quickly. The Miller Genuine Draft number 1 car. Hearn looks down to the inside, coming down to turns number 3 and 4 right now. Out of turn number 4, Hearn back up to the outside groove, coming down the straightaway. Battle going on for spot number 4. Halbrick gets by Rich Rosa. Rosa now back in the hot seat with the 87R car. And Halbrick picking up the speed coming out of turn number 2. But here comes Hearn down the back straightaway. Hearn tries to look down to the inside. Not quite enough racing room this time as we come up to the 2 to go side. And the 25 car, Gary Stevens, holds on to the number 2 spot. Ralph Hetzler out there all by his lonesome. And the Montgomery Collision 17 car, straightaway lead right now for second spot runner, Gary Radar Stevens. Stevens back there in the number 2 groove. Brett Hearn is running in third. Everett Halbrick right there in spot number 4. And Tom Hindley back to spot number 5 once again. Hindley backed up to a qualifying position. And a white flag coming out this time. White flag comes out one more time around. And watch the battle we've got back there for spots number 2 and 3. Gary Stevens brings him out of turn number 4 right now. Stevens holds on to spot number 2. Brett Hearn is third. And something wrong with Everett Halbrick. Halbrick out of the groove and dropping off the pace in the 717 car. And Halbrick was looking very, very fast just a couple of laps ago. But meanwhile, Tom Hindley looks on closing up that gap back there in spot number 5. Checkered flag, getting set to fly this time. The winner of heat number 2, Ralph Hetzler. Second spot, it's going to be a close one. Right down to the wire, but the spot number 2 is going up to Gary Stevens. Third spot, the number 1 car, Brett Hearn. Here we go for spot number 4, the 17 of Tom Hindley, followed by Billy Eggers. Eggers picking up that final qualifier. Zablett back at the Speedway for the first time in the 1992 racing season out of Montvale, New Jersey. White number 66 car back there in spot number 9. Olson Todd, Oldsmobile Cadillac, nearby Central Valley, New York. Caution lights have now been turned out. Olson Todd, Oldsmobile Achieva pace car, drops down to the inside. The pole sitter, the pace setter right now, the 71H car, the JB Masonry Supplies car, that's Tim Hindley out of Fair Oaks, New York. Hindley on the inside, and Bobby Cronk, the K3 car, up there on the outside groove. Here we come, on a turn number 4, and the green flag flies, and we go racing! Hindley grabs that center line groove right off the get-go and picks up the number 1 spot, but here comes Cronk on the inside. Cronk back there in the K3 machine, running right now in spot number 2, the round plumbing supply car up on the outside. The battle is on, and 3 abreast down the back straightaway for that number 2 place battle. Bobby Cronk holds on to the second spot. Chris Whitehead, a Vernon Poulin spot 244 car, running well back there in spot number 3. Steve Dodd from right here in Middletown, New York, the Round Corporation 22 car back there in spot number 4. Stan Sherman riding the hot seat right now, back in spot number 5, only 5 cars qualified, and bumper to bumper to take him down there in turns number 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway, Tim Hindley stretches things out right now on the number 1 spot. Bobby Cronk going to feel the heat real soon from the 244 car, Chris Whitehead. Whitehead looks up to the outside, drops back down to the inside line. Steve Dodd follows him down there in turns number 3 and 4. Dodd drops down to the inside, coming out of turn number 4 this time. Down the home straightaway we go. Stan Sherman, the 22L car, back there in spot number 5 right now. As they get himself bunched up a little bit, coming out of turn number 2. Hindley leads that pack down the back straightaway. And Frank Cozy looking for room to go racing back there in the number 6 spot. Cozy 1 spot from a qualifying position in the Reclamation number 33 car. Cozy out of Wind Gap, Pennsylvania right now, looking for one more spot to get himself a start in tonight's feature event. Hindley holds on the lead. Bobby Cronk is second. Chris Whitehead third. Steve Dodd up on the outside line right now for spot number 4. Dodd stands on it going down the back straightaway. And Dodd and Whitehead side by side. Dodd got the outside groove all to his liking right now. He battles Bobby Cronk for spot number 2. He's going for the gusto on the outside. Coming out of turn number 4 this time. Dodd up a little bit too high as the halfway point comes out. And Dodd just a tad bit too high, losing out in the qualifying round. But he's going to have some spots to make up right now as he comes up to the outside once again. Dodd running the outside very well as we motor down the back straightaway. Jim Hindley holds on to the lead. Bobby Cronk is second. Chris Whitehead back there in spot number 3. And we've got problems down there in turn number 4. Caution lights come on. Yellow lights on around the speedway. The 44L car. Gary Lusher. Lusher losing a handle on it there. Tim Hindley, your current race leader. Bobby Cronk second. Chris Whitehead third. Stan Sherman back there in spot number 4. Now Frank Cozy riding back there in the hot seat back in spot number 5. Set to go back to green flag racing as they come down to turn number 4 this time. Hindley hits that startup barrel. And here we go. Down the back home straightaway once again. And Hindley holds on to the lead. But watch out for Bobby Cronk down there in turn number 1. K3 car may be having some problems with the front suspension. Whitehead got himself a flat left front tire on the Vernon Poulin Spa car. You'll have to head back to the pit area right now. Station and Matthews recovery. Action once again as we come down the home straightaway. Tim Hindley tries to hold on to the number 1 spot. Stan Sherman looking good back there in spot number 2. Meanwhile, turning some fast times up in the high groove, it's Steve Dodd, the Round Corporation number 22 car. Here he comes down the back straightaway this time. Dodd up to that number 3 spot. Donnie Wilson back there in spot number 4. Gary Lusher, the Hayes Camps Mobile 44L car up there to the final transfer spot. He's back in spot number 5 right now. The white flag coming out this time. One more time to go as Tim Hindley comes on to turn number 4 this time. Hindley rolling down the home straightaway. Sherman right there in spot number 2. Steve Dodd running very good. Back in spot number 3. Donnie Wilson 4th. And Gary Lusher back there in spot number 5. Going down the back straightaway. Last lap racing action. And Stan Sherman makes a move on the outside. Sherman tries to bolt to the horsepower up to the outside, but Hindley got a handle on it right now. Hindley coming down in turns number 3 and 4. The checkered flag coming out. It's going to be a dogfight right down to the finish. Here we go on turn number 4. The winner of heat number 3. It's Tim Hindley. Second spot, Stan Sherman. Third, Steve Dodd, followed by Donnie Wilson. Again, the 71H car of Tim Hindley, followed by Stan Sherman, Steve Dodd, Donnie Wilson, then Gary Lusher. Heat number 4 coming out to the speed. Zambowski. Then back in row number 5 in car number 43, it's Scott Dickey. That's it. They're set to go for the 4th qualifying event for the small block 358 modified. Remember, 8 laps, 5 cars qualified into tonight's feature event. Meanwhile, we see the 1992 Oldsmobile Achieva pace car. It drops down to the inside, and we're set to go racing. Small block modified style, the 4th and final qualifying heat event. Remember, all the non-qualifiers, well, they got to go to the consolation. Here we go, down the home straightaway, and we go racing. Red Muir out of Campbell Hall, New York, the C&H Body Shop, number 2 car. Muir grabs the first spot lead right now as they come out of turn number 2. Chris Crispin, the Schlafani Oil 23 car, motoring right behind in spot number 2. Right to it third right now, and Stevie Botcher back there in spot number 4. Frank Jazembowski, the Middletown native, right back there in spot number 5 in car number 265. They battle on a turn number 4 this time. Everybody looking for the number 1 spot coming down the home straightaway. Red Muir, the C&H Body Shop car, holds on to the lead. Chris Crispin looks down to the inside, back in spot number 2. Right to it, the Clippers car, back there in spot number 3, Stevie Botcher down the back straightaway. You're in the Harry Davis Trucking number 53 machine. Botcher steady back there in the number 4 spot right now. Remember, 5 cars qualified. And Frank Jazembowski back there in that final transfer spot. Jazembowski looks down to the inside of Botcher, coming down to turn number 4. Botcher comes down and closing that door. Botcher, that Harry Davis Trucking 53 car, looking very good back there in spot number 4. Botcher comes up to the tail side on Tuit, and Botcher looks down to the inside, coming out of turn number 2. Tuit, raising that horsepower down the back straightaway right down the 3rd spot. Red Muir holds on to the lead. Chris Crispin out of South Salem, New York, back there in spot number 2. Here we go, out of turn number 4 this time, motoring down the home straightaway. Red Muir holds on to the number 1 spot. Chris Crispin riding back there in spot number 2. Right to it still third, Stevie Botcher 4th, and Frank Jazembowski right there in spot number 5. Once again, going down the back straightaway, Crispin makes a move to the outside, and Crispin grabs the number 1 spot. Chris Crispin out of South Salem, New York, the Schlafani Oil 23 car. Now, your new race leader at the halfway point. 4 down, 4 to go as we come down the straightaway this time. Second spot is still Red Muir. Third, Ray Tuit. 4th place, the 53 car, Stevie Botcher, followed back in spot number 5 by the 265, Frank Jazembowski. Down the back straightaway once again, Tuit closing in very quickly on second spot, runner Red Muir. Botcher tries to get a nose down on the inside, but there's not quite enough racing room back there in spots number 3 and 4. Crispin wasting no time at all, stretching out the number 1 spot. Red Muir still back there in spot number 2. Ray Tuit closing in very quickly in spot number 3. Meanwhile, Frankie Jazembowski tries to come on the inside line, but there's not quite enough racing room. Botcher holds on to spot number 4. Botcher back there in the number 4 spot. Remember, 5 cars qualified. And Frank Jazembowski, the 265 car, now back in the number 5 spot. 2 laps to go. 2 to go this time around for race leader Chris Crispin. Red Muir back there holding on to spot number 2 in the runner-up position. Ray Tuit still third, Stevie Botcher 4th, and Frank Jazembowski back in spot number 5. A lot of heavy racing going on back there in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th spots right now. as time winds down very quickly. The white flag comes out one more time around for race leader Chris Crispin. Crispin with a straightaway lead over second spot runner Red Mueller. Mueller back there, he's got his hands full. He knows the freight train is right there in the shadows. Back there in spot number 3, it's Ray Tuitt. Tuitt holds on to the third spot. Botcher, slingshot down to the inside. Botcher got the inside groove this time for spot number 3. Botcher picks up the third spot just in the nick of time as the checkered flag gets set to fly. Here we go, the winner of heat number 4, Chris Crispin. Second spot, it's going to be a close one down the home straightaway for Red Mueller. Third is Stevie Botcher, followed by Ray Tuitt. And Crispin, second spot, Red Mueller. Third, Stevie Botcher. Fourth is Ray 2, Brett Hearn. Well, that's so we're set to go racing right now. 8 laps. 5 cars qualified. 4 qualifying events on the grid tonight. Olson Todd, Oldsmobile Cadillac pace car, now drops down to the inside. We're set to go racing, big block modified style. Ed Zachary out of Spring Valley, New York, comes down on a turn number 4 this time, looking for Kenny Marshall's green flag, and here we go! Craig Jackson slingshots out to the number 1 spot right now. Zachary back there in spot number 2, Lauren Holland back there in third spot. Holland with the Rockbusters Pro-Tran mount as they motor down the back straightaway. Stan Sherman running back there in spot number 4. And the 44 car, the asphalt pavement machine, that's Bill Cherry riding back in spot number 5. 5 cars qualified. And Craig Jackson comes down the home straightaway right now. Jackson wasting no time, stretching out the number 1 spot. Jackson, that white and blue number 96 J car. First time a full year runner here at the Orange County Speedway, adapting very, very well and very quickly at that. Ed Zachary running back there in the second spot. Lauren Holland Jr. rides there back in third. Stan Sherman still fourth, and Bill Cherry running back there in spot number 5. Bill Cherry losing a handle down the home straightaway. Hearn goes down to the inside to try and save himself. And Hearn finds himself up there in spot number 6. Meanwhile, Lauren Holland Jr. grabs spot number 2 from Ed Zachary as they motor down the back straightaway. Zachary back there in the third spot right now. Stan Sherman is fourth. Dwayne Howard riding back there in spot number 5. The Toe Bash Sports Warehouse number 114 car. Dwayne Howard out of Oley, Pennsylvania finds himself on the hot seat position, and the master back there in spot number 6 is Brett Hearn. Hearn slingshots down to the inside. Hearn tries to pick up that final transfer spot in the number 72 car. Coming up on the halfway point this time around, Craig Jackson, the 96J machine, holds on to the number 1 place. Jackson holds on to the lead. Lauren Holland back there in spot number 2. Ed Zachary running in third. Stan Sherman fourth. And Dwayne Howard rides back in spot number 5. Bill Cherry running in sixth right now. Hearn having problems dropping out of that racing groove. He's going to rebound, motoring down the back straightaway. Craig Jackson trying to stretch out that number 1 spot over Lauren Holland Jr. Holland out of White Lake, New York, the Rockbusters car. Now feels the heat from Ed Zachary. Holland out to the outside. Zachary goes by for spot number 2, and so does Stan Sherman. Look out down in turn number 1. And the Oldsmobile Achieva pace car from Olson Todd, Oldsmobile Cadillac, drops down to the inside. Set to go back to racing, and this the first qualifying event for the big block modified. Beyond the halfway point, single file restart. And here we come on turn number 4, the green flag flies. We go back to racing. Craig Jackson up there in the number 1 spot right now as they go down in turns number 1 and 2. Back there in spot number 2, it's the 156 of Ed Zachary. Stan Sherman rides in third right now, and Bill Cherry back there in spot number 4, followed by Chris Tuthill. Tuthill, the JC Dyno 7M car, the white flag coming out. Watch the battle for spot number 5 as Brett Hearn rides back in spot number 6. Here we come down the home straightaway. One more time around. And you want to keep your eyes glued to that number 5 place battle. Tuthill holds on to it, but here comes Hearn down the back straightaway. Hearn slingshots on the inside, looking for that final transfer spot. Tuthill up a little bit too high, and Tuthill losing a handle down there as the checkered flag comes out. The winner of heat number 1 is Craig Jackson. Second spot, Ed Zachary. Third, Stan Sherman, followed by Bill Cherry and Brett Hearn. Bruce Klein out of Bangor, Pennsylvania. The Van Horn Racing Engines, number 59 car. He's your pole sitter right now. Whitey Kidd Jr. out of Staten Island, New York. He's on the outside of row number 1. Meanwhile, Olson Todd, Oldsmobile Cadillac pace car, drops down to the inside. We're set to go racing. Big block modified style. Here we come out of turn number 4. Klein on the inside. He's your pole sitter, your pace setter, coming down straight away. The green flag flies, and here we go. Whitey Kidd Jr. Hey, he wastes no time. He grabs the number 1 spot at the border out of turn number 2. Bruce Klein back there in the 2nd spot. Jackie Brown Jr. 3rd. Hip jobs. Frank Cozy on the inside. Down the back straightaway. Cozy grabs the number 5 spot away from Chuck McKee. And Ralph Hetzler, the 92 car, the Pat Barrett Racing Automatics car, back up at the number 4 spot. Motoring down the home straightaway, putting lap number 1 upon the scoreboard. Whitey Kidd Jr., the Enkins Auto Recycling, number 95 car. He's your number 1 spot right now. Bruce Klein back there in spot number 2. Jackie Brown Jr. running in 3rd. Ralph Hetzler 4th. Frank Cozy back there in spot number 5. Chuck McKee 1 spot from qualifying right now. The Binsky's Garage 702 car back there in spot number 6, followed by the 25 of Howie Fitch. Whitey Kidd starting to get some elbow space between himself and Bruce Klein in the number 1 spot. Klein running in 2nd. Jackie Brown still back in 3rd. The Ram Roofing 16 car. Ralph Hetzler back in the 4th spot. Cozy finds some inside openings down the back straightaway. Meanwhile, Hetzler goes to the outside. Hetzler picks up the 3rd spot over Jackie Brown Jr. Brown now back to spot number 4. Cozy right back there in spot number 5. Cozy looks down to the inside, coming out of turn number 4. Down the home stretch we go. The good race going on back there in that final qualifying position. Meanwhile, Chuck McKee comes alive. McKee on the outside, tries to come up alongside of Frank Cozy, goes a little bit too high, down there in turns number 1 and 2. Coming up on the halfway point this time, 4 laps down and 4 to go. The race leader still the number 95 of Whitey Kidd Jr. Kidd holds on to the lead, Klein still 2nd, Hetzler is 3rd, Jackie Brown Jr., the Ram Roofing car, back there in spot number 4. Frank Cozy looks to the outside, goes just a little bit too high. And Mike Rickey gets by in car number 8. Mike Rickey now up into the qualifying spot. Chuck McKee back there in spot number 6. Frank Cozy is 7th. Watch Cozy try to rebound and back up into a qualifying position. Kidd holds on to the lead. Klein is 2nd. Hetzler back there in the number 3 spot. Jackie Brown running back in spot number 4. Mike Rickey comes down to the inside. Rickey, the Pam's Button Run number 8 car, back there in the number 5 spot, coming up on 2 laps to go. 2 to go this time around for race leader, Whitey Kidd Jr. Kidd holds on to the lead. Klein 2nd, Hetzler 3rd, Jackie Brown back there in spot number 4. Mike Rickey, the number 8 car, now feels the heat on the inside from the 702 of Chuck McKee. McKee backs out of it, and Cozy slingshots by. White flag coming out this time. One more time around, and Cozy got his work cut out for him back there in spot number 6. Watch, the battle going to take place now for the final transfer spot. Mike Rickey, the number 8 car. Frank Cozy on the outside. Held home straightaway. Cozy draws in against the number 8 car. Cozy up to the outside. Cozy rim riding down there in turns number 1 and 2 right now. The battle is on. Meanwhile, Klein drops out of the contention. And Klein having problems down the back straightaway as he drops back 1 spot. Cozy on the move on the inside. Watch the battle. The final transfer spot going up for grabs. The checkered flag in hand. And the winner, Whitey Kidd Jr. 2nd spot, it's Ralph Hetzler. 3rd, Jackie Brown. 4th, Bruce Klein, followed by Mike Rickey. 406, Rich Rickey Jr. Row number 5, the 6 car, Danny Johnson. And the number 21 of Rick Flammer. Don't forget, we'll be running the entire big block and small block show before the Dirt Sportsman and Street Stocks this evening. Meanwhile, moving on with heat number 3 for the big blocks. The Olson Todd Oldsmobile Achieva pace car moves down to the inside, set to go racing, big block style. Ken Boniface, the Fredericks Excavating V8 car, comes on a turn number 4. The green flag flies, and we go racing. Green flag coming out. Joe Garteezer wasting no time, grabbing the number 1 spot. Carl Van Horn, the Chariot Custom Vans car, back there in the number 2 spot. Here's Jeff Hetzler, the Smith Brothers car, the Ford Power Planet machine, back there in spot number 3. Rich Rickey riding back in spot number 4. Ken Boniface back in spot number 5. We got one around sideways down there in turn number 3, the 21 car. That's Rick Flammer, and Flammer will bring out the yellow flag. Caution lights, come on. The Countryside Mobile number 25 car. Carl Van Horn back there in spot number 2, the Chariot Custom Van 71E car. We're set to go back to racing green flag style as the Olson Todd Oldsmobile Cadillac pace car drops back down to the inside. We're set to go back to racing. One down, and Joe Garteezer knows it's time to go back. Here we go. Green flag comes out, and Garteezer back up to the number 1 spot. Carl Van Horn now feeling the heat on the outside from Jeff Hetzler. Hetzler finds the outside groove alive and grabs the number 1 spot. Hetzler, very, very much a powerhouse out here tonight. Picks up 2 spots going down there in turns number 1 and 2. Hetzler now the Ford Motorsports 74 car, and there's a man with a mission out here tonight. Hetzler holds on to the lead, motoring down the home straightaway. Second spot is Joe Garteezer. Look out for Ken Boniface down the home straightaway. It all started with the D8 car of Ken Boniface coming out of the group. Caution lights get turned out. The Olson Todd Oldsmobile Achieva pace car swings down to the inside. Time to go back to racing, and the pole sitter right now, the number 74 car, Jeff Hetzler, the Smith Brothers Concrete. Here we come, down the home straightaway, green flag flies, we go back to racing. Joe Garteezer back there in the number 2 spot. Garteezer holds on to the number 2 group. Carl Fuzzy Van Horn, the Chariot Custom Vans car, riding well back there in spot number 3. Rich Ricky Jr. running back in 4th spot. Larry Brolsma, spot number 5. Here comes Danny Johnson on the inside for spot number 6. Remember, 5 cars qualify. The halfway point coming up this time around. Watch the battle going to take place back there in the final qualifying position. Larry Brolsma holds on to it in car number 35. Brolsma back there in the number 5 spot. Danny Johnson looks to the outside. The doctor works up on the high groove. The high groove is low shuffle right now. Johnson slingshots down to the inside. They motor down the back straightaway. Danny Johnson grabs the number 5 spot. Look out for Larry Brolsma. Caution lights coming on around the speedway. The number 35 car, Larry Brolsma. General excavating needs, septic systems, drainage systems. No job too large or too small for the folks at RCR. RCR Excavating in Newburgh, New York. Also, right next door, the 1991 versions of the Brett Hearn, Frank Cozy, Danny Johnson, and Stevie Botcher t-shirts. They're on sale at a very low price while supplies last. Well, the Olson Todd Oldsmobile Achieva pace car swings back down to the inside. Caution lights get turned out, and we're set to go back to racing. Jeff Hetzler brings that field to big block modified down the home straightaway, and here we go. Hetzler back to the number 1 spot. Carl Van Horn, the Chariot Custom Vans car, running well back there in spot number 2. Joe Garteezer 3rd, and the race now going on for spot number 4 between Rich Ricky on the outside and Danny Johnson. Johnson back there in the number 6 car, riding back in spot number 5. Johnson got the inside groove all to his own liking. Here we come, the dogfight is on for that final transfer spot coming down the home straightaway. Rich Ricky Jr., the Fall Fittings 406 machine, riding up there in spot number 4. Danny Johnson, the doctor, back there in spot number 5. Johnson tries to get a nose into the inside, but the door gets closed going down the back straightaway. White flag and apply this time. One more time around for the Ford Power Plant, number 74 car of Jeff Hetzler. Hetzler down the home straightaway, holds on to the lead. Second spot, it's still the Chariot car, the 71E of Carl Van Horn. Third place, Joe Garteezer. Fourth place, it's the Rich Ricky machine. And right there, like a shadow in spot number 5, the number 6 up, Danny Johnson. Johnson up to the outside, down the back straightaway. Checkered flag getting set to fly this time around. Here we go, down the home straightaway, the winner of heat number 3, it's Jeff Hetzler. Second spot, Carl Fuzzy Van Horn. Third place, it's going to be a close one. The 5 car of Joe Garteezer, followed by Danny Johnson and Rich Ricky Jr. Fourth heat, 8 laps, 5 cars will qualify. Well, the Oldsmobile Achieva pace car, brought to us once again by Olson Todd Oldsmobile Cadillac. Swings into the inside, and we're set to go racing. Here we come on a turn number 4 this time. Green flag flies, and here we go. A Regalsville racer, Kenny Wismer out of Regalsville, Pennsylvania. The Lapena Snacks car grabs the number 1 spot. Mike DePalma back there in spot number 2. Carl Pittenger on the outside picks up the number 3 spot. Down the back straightaway, Gary Edwards, but here comes Richie Urich. Urich, very powerful on the outside, picks up the number 4 spot. Edwards back there in the hot seat right now, back in the final qualifying position. 5 cars qualified, and watch Rich Urich back there in spot number 4. The Air Car Company number 10 car, very, very powerful down the home straightaway. Urich slingshots down to the inside. Urich tries to pick up the 3rd spot against Carl Pittenger. Pittenger hung on the outside, going down the back straightaway. Kenny Wismer holds on to the lead right now. Mike DePalma back there in spot number 2. Carl Pittenger runs the 3rd spot back in the Circle K car. Pittenger looks up to the outside of Mike DePalma. Down there in turn number 1. Pittenger picks up the number 2 spot. DePalma now back in 3rd. Richie Urich is 4th. Gary Edwards holds on to the final qualifying spot. Lots of racing going on right behind in spot number 6. It's Billy Wilson, followed by the number 88 of Frank Jezembowski. Wismer holding on to the number 1 spot, stretching it out right now for Carl Pittenger. Pittenger also carrying that Rail Corporation sponsorship in the car. We see down there in turn number 2 right now. Pittenger going down the back straightaway with Urich closing in very, very quickly. Urich back there in the 3rd spot. Mike DePalma 4th. Gary Edwards back there in spot number 5. Halfway point coming out this time. 4 laps down and 4 to go for race leader Kenny Wismer. Wismer holds on to that number 1 spot. Pittenger still 2nd. Urich trying to close the gap very quickly back there in spot number 3. Now Frank Jezembowski grabs spot number 4. Jezembowski for 4th, and here comes Jimmy Horton. Horton, the active 2 car, picks up the final qualifying position. Jimmy Horton right now back there in spot number 5. Horton from Lebanon, New Jersey, the active trucking car, running back in the hot seat position. Kenny Wismer holds on to the lead, but here comes Richie Urich. Urich closing in very, very quickly in the countryside oil number 10 car. Urich back there in the number 2 spot. Carl Pittenger is 3rd. Frank Jezembowski running back there in spot number 4. Coming up on 2 laps to go. Jimmy Horton still rides back in spot number 5. Kenny Wismer, the Lapena Snacks car, feeling the heat very, very quickly from the number 10 of Rich Urich. Urich looks down to the inside. The door gets closed, and Urich steps out of the groove. Urich out of the groove just a second, and Pittenger thought he had a chance to play catch-up. Urich back there in the number 2 spot. Pittenger running back at spot number 3 right now. White flag coming out one more time around. Race leader, the number 89 car from Regalsville, Pennsylvania, Kenny Wismer. Richie Urich rebounding back there in spot number 2. Urich trying to close the gap up on the hot shoe out there in turn number 2. Wismer holds on to the lead down the back straightaway, the motor. Urich closing in quickly. Urich not backing out of it. He's up on the outside, down in turns number 3 and 4. Urich caught up in the outside group, backs out of it, switches lanes coming out of turn number 4. Checkered flag comes out for Kenny Wismer. 2nd spot, Rich Urich. 3rd, Carl Pittenger. 4th, it's Frank Jezembowski, followed by Jimmy Horton. Still the winner once again, the number 89 of Kenny Wismer, 4K, Kirk Van Duzer. Road number 5, the 94 car, Joe Sorvis, and the 717 of Everett Halbrick. Row number 6, the K3 of Bobby Crunk, and a 77 Jimmy Johnson. Follow back in row number 7, 14 car, Donnie Till, Rich Rosa, Chris Whitehead, and Scott Dickey. Consolation time for the small blocks. Big blocks will be up after this. Here we come, right now down the home straightaway. Green flag flies, 4 cars qualify. And Johnny Marsh, the J&T Racing, number 73 car, grabs the early race lead. Van Varick out of East Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, rides back there in spot number 2. Gary Huber 3rd right now. Bobby Hayes is 4th, and here comes the Vantage Home 24K car of Kirk Van Duzer. Johnny Marsh holds on to the number 1 spot. Van Varick back there in spot number 2. Bobby Hayes grabs the 3rd spot away from Gary Huber. Hayes on the outside, looks down the back straightaway right now. Huber slows on a turn number 2, and Kurt Van Duzer goes by, but here comes Frank Cozy. Cozy, the Reclamation 33 car, picks up the qualifying spot back there in spot number 4 right now. Cozy, the 33 car, holds on to that qualifying position. Johnny Marshall's on the lead. Van Barrick still second. Bobby Hayes back there in spot number 3. Here comes the 28 car on the inside of Cozy, and the battle is on for that 4th transfer spot. Tom Foley on the inside. Frank Cozy on the outside. Cozy, the Reclamation car, back there in spot number 5 right now. Here he comes, down the home straightaway. Johnny Marshall's on the lead. Van Barrick is second. Hayes is third. Foley fourth. Cozy fifth, and 24K of Kurt Van Duzer back there in spot number 6. John Foley, the International Motor Plaza's car, down to the inside looking for spot number 3 against Bobby Hayes Jr. Coming up on the halfway point this time. 4 laps down and 4 to go. Yellow lights are going to fly. Problems down there in turn. It appears that the power plant on the 357 of Gary Huber may have just gone south on him, as a lot of smoke comes out of the tail side of that car. Drifts down to the infield pit area. 4 to go, the halfway point, and we're looking for the green flag this time around. Johnny Marsh, the JNT Racing number 73 machine. He's your pole sitter and your pace setter now at the come out of turn number 4. Pat Van Barrick out of East Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. Back there in spot number 2. Green flag flies, and we go racing. Tom Foley back there in the 3rd spot. Frank Cozy on the outside, and here comes Kurt Van Duzer down low. Van Duzer, the Vantage Home 24K car, riding proud back in spot number 5. Bobby Hayes Jr., the 17 car, back there in spot number 6. Johnny Marsh wasting no time, stretching out the number 1 spot as we motor down in turns number 3 and 4. Marsh holds on to the lead coming out of turn number 4 this time. Van Barrick still back there in spot number 2. Cozy up to the number 3 spot. Cozy running in 3rd right now. Foley back there in spot number 4. Van Duzer, the 24K car, back in spot number 5. Foley out of the groove, and Van Duzer goes by. Van Duzer goes higher. Here comes Bobby Hayes. Hayes, seeing the bottom side open, picks up that number 4 spot. Coming up on 2 laps to go, 2 to go this time around. Johnny Marshall's on the lead. Van Barrick is second. Frank Cozy out of Windgap, Pennsylvania, back there in spot number 3. Cozy rides in 3rd right now, the Reclamation 33 car. And Cozy looking for some racing room as they motor down the back straightaway. White flag coming out, white flag out this time. One more time around. Johnny Marsh, Pat Van Barrick, and Frank Cozy, your top 3 runners down the home stretch. Bobby Hayes Jr., the 17 car, back there in spot number 4. Kurt Van Duzer rides at 5th. Jimmy Johnson 6th. Scott Dickey 7th. Donnie Till is 8th. And Eli Zabla back in spot number 9. Checkered flag getting set to fly this time. The winner of the small block modified consolation event, the number 73 car, Johnny Marsh. 2nd spot, Pat Van Barrick. 3rd spot, Frank Cozy, followed by Bobby Hayes Jr. Caution lights have now been turned out. Olson Todd Oldsmobile Achieva pace car swings down to the inside, set to go racing, consolation style for the big block modified. Dirk Adrian springs that field down in turns number 3 and 4. Green lights come on, hammers go down, and here we go. Frank Cozy grabs the swing stop position as he picks up the number 1 spot. Cozy grabs that lead right out of the hole right now, and Cozy wasting no time. Look at him stretch out the number 1 spot, motoring down the back straightaway. Adrian's is second. Wilson back there in spot number 3. Hallie Finch running back in the number 4 spot right now. The Countryside Oil number 25 car. Jerry Higbee, the 97 car, running back in spot number 5. And Larry Brolsbaum in car number 35, running back in spot number 6. Down the back straightaway, Cozy once again way out in front. Cozy figures he better get himself out there and just kind of mosey out there in the number 1 spot. He's got no contention right now as he gets a straightaway lead over 2nd spot runner Dirk Adrian. Adrian down trying trying to build up some distance once again over the number 7 car, Billy Wilson. Wilson on the inside. Here comes Hallie Finch on the outside. Wilson holds on to the 3rd spot. Down the back straightaway, Hallie Finch is 4th, but here comes the 97 car of Jerry Higbee. Lauren Holland has problems. He heads back to the infield right now in the 280 car. Frank Cozy holds on to the lead. Dirk Adrian is 2nd. Billy Wilson 3rd. Jerry Higbee 4th. Hallie Finch back there in spot number 5, and Chuck McKee running in 6th. Well, coming up on the halfway point very soon. 4 laps down and 4 to go. Frank Cozy is very strong on the outside. Wilson is 2nd. Billy Wilson picking up the number 2 spot. Dirk Adrian's is 3rd. Jerry Higbee 4th. But here comes Hallie Finch on the outside. Finch up in the high groove. Picks up the number 4 spot away from Jerry Higbee. Higbee back there in spot number 5. Larry Brolsma running back in spot number 7 right now. Chuck McKee in between the 2 in spot number 6. Cozy holds on to the lead. 2nd spot is Billy Wilson. Dirk Adrian running a very strong 3rd position. Hallie Finch right there in spot number 4. Jerry Higbee back in spot number 5. And Chuck McKee running in spot number 6. Coming up on 2 laps to go. 2 to go this time around. Sign comes down. Cozy down the back straightaway. Billy Wilson still running in 2nd. Adrian's 3rd. Hallie Finch is 4th. And here comes Chuck McKee down to the inside. McKee puts the battle on right now. Back for that number 4 spot. And McKee got the inside going through the press down the back straightaway. White flag comes out. One more time around for Frank Cozy. And a lot of action going on back there for the number 4 spot. White flag out. Billy Wilson is 2nd. 3rd spot is still Dirk Adrian. 4th, Chuck McKee, and a battle is on as the yellow comes out. Caution lights on around the speedway. Problems down there in turn number 3. And it appears that one car has come to a rest down the inside of turn number 3. It looks like the 21 car of Rick Flammer. The 25 of Hallie Finch should go behind the number 702. Chuck McKee. McKee back there in the number 4 spot right now. Hallie Finch running back in spot number 5. 7 down, 1 to go. Then Frank Cozy, your current race leader. Billy Wilson is 2nd. Dirk Adrians is 3rd. Chuck McKee riding back there in spot number 4. Hallie Finch is 5th. Jerry Higbee 6th. Larry Brolsma back there in spot number 7. And Dwayne Howard running back in spot number 8. 1 lap, dogfight to the finish, and the sprint will be on as the Olsen Todd Oldsmobile Achieva Pace Car drops down to the inside, set for green flag racing. Final chance at getting us started tonight's 30-lap Big Block Modified feature. Here we come, right down to the wire. The green flag flies, and we go back to racing. Cozy once again grabs that number 1 spot, holds on to it. Billy Wilson riding back there in spot number 2. Adrian's 3rd down the back straightaway, but here comes Chuck McKee down to the inside. McKee, the John Binsky's Garage 702 car, picks up the 3rd spot. Checkered flag comes out. We come down to the wire, and the winner of the Big Block consolation event, the number 97, Frank Cozy. 2nd spot is Billy Wilson. 3rd, Chuck McKee. 4th, Dirk Adrians, followed by the 25 of Hallie Finch and the 97, Jerry Higbee. Billy Wilson, 3rd, Chuck McKee. 4th, Dirk Adrians. 5th, it's Hallie Finch up. Your pole sitter, the number 89 car of Kenny Wismer. Alongside Kenny, the number 96K of Craig Jackson. Row number 2, the 95 car of Whitey Kidd, followed by the number 74, Jeff Hetzler. 4 laps. Your 4 Big Block Modified Heat winners out here this evening, and the 4 fastest Big Blocks so far. Go at it for over $200 in first place money. And of course, that Sunglow Fuels racing incentive. If they are riding with Sunglow Fuels, they will pick up an additional $100 in money in addition to the Middletown Dash for Cash purse. Big Block Modified Dash for Cash style. The Oldsmobile Achieva pace car, brought to us once again by Olson Todd, Oldsmobile Cadillac, Central Valley, New York. It drops down to the inside. Caution lights get turned out. Kenny Wismer, the Regalsville racer, knows it's time to go racing. He comes down on a turn number 4, brings that field of big blockers down on a turn number 4. The green flag flies, and here we go. Wismer, the Lieutenant Snacks 89 car, grabs the number 1 spot. Here comes Whitey Kidd down to the inside. Kidd on a Staten Island, New York, back down to the number 2 spot. Frank Jackson third, and here's Jeff Hetzler. Hetzler back there, the Ford power plant, big block modified car, riding back in spot number 4 right now. Kenny Wismer out of Regalsville, Pennsylvania, holds on to the number 1 spot. Wismer brings him down the home straightaway. Whitey Kidd right there in spot number 2. Wismer and Kidd, nose and tail on the outside. They rim right, coming out of turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. Craig Jackson goes a little too high, and here comes Jeff Hetzler on the inside. Hetzler picks up the number 3 spot. Jackson now back in spot number 4. Coming up on the halfway point this time. Remember, 4-lap dash for cash. 2 down, 2 to go. Kenny Wismer holds on to the lead. Wismer down the home straightaway. Whitey Kidd back there in spot number 2. Jeff Hetzler closing the gap very quickly back in spot number 3. Craig Jackson rides high in spot number 4. White flag coming out this time. White flag coming up to play one more time around for the Regalsville racer himself, Kenny Wismer. Wismer out of turn number 4, looks for the white flag this time around. Whitey Kidd Jr., the Edkins Auto Recycling 95 car, back there in spot number 2. Jeff Hetzler rides on the high side, coming out of turn number 2 this time. Hetzler back there in the number 3 spot. Checkered flag coming out this time. Checkered flag coming out. It's going to be a close one as Wismer rides down to the inside. Whitey Kidd gives it all he's got on the outside. The winner of the 89 car, Kenny Wismer. Whitey Kidd second, Jeff Hetzler third, and Craig Jackson back in spot number 4. Down in victory lane, the winner of the Middletown Honda Dash for Cash, Kenny Wismer. Second spot, the number 95 of Whitey Kidd Jr. Third place, the number 74, Jeff Hetzler. And fourth in the number 96, it's Craig Jackson. 89 car, Kenny Wismer Jr. Get a few quick words with Kenny as he gets unbuckled and gets the helmet off. Tonight, but you had yourself a heat win and a dash for cash win, and who knows, this could be the night for the Regalsville racer. That would be nice. We need it. They call it Orange County, you're home once again in the 1992 season, and it looks to be taking shape very quickly. How's the 89 working out there tonight?
We're getting better. We have to get used to the racetrack and get the car set. We're getting there. Every week we gain a little bit.
Well, you got yourself a dash for cash win, and who knows, we might be talking to you a little bit later on.
I'd like that.
There you have it, your Middletown Honda Dash for Cash winner, Kenny Wismer, out of Regalsville, Pennsylvania. The number 89 car brought to us by Lieutenant Snacks. Now, just a little bit too quick out there. You did a good job moving up to spot number 2, but Kenny may be a little bit too quick out there.
Well, there's only one groove out there right now, and that's all we had for right now. We'll have to go back and get a little more speed out of it.
95 car feeling good so far, looking good for feature event time?
So far, we'll be all right.
Well, you move yourself up one more spot, and we'll be walking home a winner tonight.
We'd like that.
Okay, Whitey Kidd, the number 95 car, finishing in second. Jeff Hetzler, the Ford Motorsports number 74 car. Had a start back there in fourth spot. You got by for third, but not quite enough to get up there to the number 1 spot.
We just need the 30-lapper, that's all. I'd really like to worry about the Dash for Cash. We're dialing in the new Troyer car this year. Been having some problems with it. I'm learning how to drive it. It's totally different than the Olson cars, so I'm biding my time. By the end of the 30 laps tonight, I think we'll be up front.
26 laps, if you feel it up.
Well, maybe a few more here, too. Who knows?
Well, hopefully we'll talk to you a little bit later on. Jeff Hetzler, the Ford Motorsports, Smith Brothers Concrete, number 74 car. Craig Jackson, getting himself a heat win out there tonight, and I'll tell you, the Zayden number 96 car looking pretty good out there.
Yeah, it's feeling pretty good tonight.
despite the weather, you know.
Also a first-year runner at the Orange County Speedway. Of course, you've had several years worth of racing experience under your belt. And how do you find it running down here at the 5/8 hard clay?
Oh, I love it here. It's nice and fast and nice track.
Well, it's good to have you on board for the 1992 season, and we hope to talk to you in feature events. Ray Muir out of Campbell Hall, New York, a longtime small block modified native here at the Orange County Speedway. Takes that C&H Body Shop down the wire right now. He's your pole sitter. Nicky Lapp out of Accord, New York, the Bob Decker and Son Paving, Zodiac Lounge, Mountain Valley Builders, number 60 car. On the outside of row number 1 for this event. From nearby Fair Oaks, New York, the JB Masonry, number 71H car on the inside of row number 3. Chris Crispin out of South Salem, New York. He's brought to us this year by Schlafani Oil. Starting up there in the number 6 spot. Donnie Wilson, second-generation driver of the Wilson Racing family. Of course, Billy Wilson, big block modified campaigner. That's his father here at the Orange County Speedway. The youngster starting right now his first year of modified racing here at Orange County in the 358 division. Out of Ramsey, New Jersey, in the Wilson's Auto and Truck number 7 car. Caution lights now get turned out. The race safe systems get turned off. The Oldsmobile Achieva pace car from Olson Todd. Oldsmobile Cadillac gets radio contact to take it on into the infield. Red Muir out of Campbell Hall, New York, your pole sitter, now becomes your pace sitter. He takes that field of small block, 358 modifieds, down throughout turns number 3 and 4. We're ready for the start of the 20-lap small block feature event. Here we come out of turn number 4 right now. Kenny Marshall got the green flag up in the air. Here we go. Nicky Lapp out of Accord, New York, grabs the early race lead, but we've got problems down here at turn number 1. Yellow lights come on. Sparks flew, and the 673 car right to it. The J-Bomb Trucking Special faring out the worst of that tangle. As he's sideways down here coming into turn number 1, that brings out the yellow lights. We'll regroup and try it once again. Laps, small block, 358 modified feature. Red Muir, the 2H car, he's your pole sitter right now. Nicky Lapp out of Accord, New York on the outside. Oldsmobile Achieva pace car from Olson Todd, Oldsmobile Cadillac, swings down to the inside. Caution lights get turned out. We get set to go back to green flag racing. Here we come, out of turn number 4, the green flag flies, and here we go. Nicky Lapp, the Bob Decker and Son Paving Special, grabs the number 1 spot. Here comes Jimmy Hauser through the back for spot number 2. Hauser grabs the 2nd spot, motoring down the back straightaway. Stevie Botcher up on the outside. Botcher slingshot down to the inside right now as he takes over spot number 4. Tim Hindley, the 71H car, back up to the number 3 spot. Botcher right there in spot number 4 as we motor on to turn number 4 this time. Yellow lights come on. We've got problems down there at turn number 3. Up to the number 4 spot, second generation hot shoe out of Lehighton, Pennsylvania, driving the small block modified out of the Harry Davis Racing Stables, Harry Davis Trucking. Charles Enman Mechanical Construction as a co-sponsor in that car this year. Caution lights get turned out. We get set to go back to racing. Front row looking really strong. Nicky Lapp on the outside and Jimmy Hauser on the inside. Hauser, the HP2 car, now get set to go back to some green flag excitement. 20 laps, small block, feature event. Here we go once again as they come down on to turn number 4. Green flag goes and the hammers go down. Jimmy Hauser, the Hauser brothers car, grabs back to number 1 spot. Here comes Stevie Botcher on the outside. Botcher grabs the number 2 spot as we motor down the back straightaway. And Botcher looking very strong, the Harry Davis Trucking number 53 car. Botcher now going to try and close up the gap between himself and Jimmy Hauser. Hauser on a Ball Belt, New York. Hammer down the HP2 car because here we come down the home straightaway. It's Hauser and Boucher, 1 and 2. Nicky Lap back there in the third spot. Chris Crispin rides back there in spot number 4. Rich Ricky Jr. running back in spot number 5. As we get out the back straightaway this time, Stevie Boucher picks up another couple of feet on the leader. Jimmy Hauser down there in turns number 3 and 4, and Boucher is definitely getting quicker. Here we come, nose and tail on a turn number 4 this time. Jimmy Hauser brings the HP2 car down the home straightaway. Stevie Boucher running very good back there in spot number 2. Boucher looks up on the outside groove, coming out of turn number 2 this time. Third spot, Nicky Lap. Fourth place, it's still Chris Crispin. Rich Ricky rides back in spot number 5. Ralph Hetzler is 6th. Jim Hindley running back there in 7th. Red Buer is at 8th. Tom Hindley running in 9th, and Brent Hearn rounds out the top 10 running order. Hearn back there in the number 10 spot with the Miller car. Meanwhile, the action thickens up in the number 1 spot. Out comes Boucher on the outside. Side by side, wheel to wheel down the back straightaway. Hauser stands on it down the back stretch. Hauser on the inside, Boucher on the outside. And Hauser comes up to the center line down there in turns number 3 and 4. Jimmy Hauser, the HP2 car, fighting very hard for the number 1 spot. Stevie Boucher holds on to the number 2 spot. Boucher going to rebound once again, try and close up the racing duel between himself and race leader Jimmy Hauser. Down the back straightaway, they motor very, very quickly. Hauser holds on to the lead. Boucher right there in 2nd. Nicky Lap still running in 3rd. Chris Crispin is 4th. Rich Ricky Jr., the Pam's Bun and Run, number 55 car, back there in spot number 5. Jimmy Hauser down to the inside. Once again, rear riding on a turn number 2. It's the 53 car of Stevie Boucher. Boucher running up very strong. Number 2 place right now. Nicky Lap still back there in 3rd. Boucher closing in once again on the number HP2 car. Hauser caught on the outside this time. Boucher looks down to the inside. The door gets closed. Jimmy Hauser trying him on the inside. Right now, Stevie Boucher looks up to the outside. Boucher, a lot of horsepower. The Harry Davis Trucking 53 car. Third spot, one up for grabs. Nicky Lap pulls off the hard charging Chris Crispin. Crispin back there in the number 4 groove. Field heat right now from Rich Ricky Jr. Ricky back there in the number 5 spot. The 55 car. We've got problems down in turn number 2. Yellow comes out. Caution lights on around the speedway. Gary Stevens heads back to the pit area right now. Track clear once again. 9 down, 11 to go before the halfway point. That still means a double pile restart. Jimmy Hauser on the inside. He's your current race leader. And Stevie Boucher, the 53 car, he's on the outside. And Boucher just full of horsepower out here tonight. Looking for some clear sailing right now. This could be his chance to pick up the lead event. He's going to try and grab the lead. This may be his best chance to do so. Boucher looking for his first win of the 1992 season here at Orange County, although he does have several across the Pennsylvania circuit. Here we go. Caution lights now get turned out. Hauser on the inside. Boucher on the outside. Set to go back to green flag racing. Jimmy Hauser brings that pack of small blocks down on a turn number 4. The green flag flies. We go back to racing. Hauser once again grabs the lead, but you can see the horsepower in that 53 car. Boucher, no-go, problems down in 1 and 2. Caution lights come back on as Frank Cozy in the Reclamation 33 car took a nasty ride down there in the turn 1 and 2 area. Well, 9 laps down. 9 down and 11 to go. Jimmy Hauser out of Blauvelt, New York. The HP2 car. Your current race leader, Stevie Botcher, running out there in spot number 2. Third spot on the restarting grid, the 23 car of Chris Crispin. Up in spot number 4, the 60 car of Nicky Lapp. Back there in spot number 5, the Freightliner Express number 6 of Danny Johnson. Right alongside of Danny. In the 22, it's Steve Dodd. Set to go racing this time. Caution lights get turned out. The Oldsmobile Achieva, Olsen, Todd Oldsmobile Cadillac pace car, swings down to the inside. We're set for some green flag, hammer down racing. Botcher knows it's time to go running on the outside. Here we come, down the home straightaway. And Jimmy Hauser once again to the number 1 spot. Botcher right there like a shadow in spot number 2. Johnson picks up one more spot down the back straightaway, they motor. Johnson on the inside, look out for Nicky Lapp down the back straightaway. Lapp losing a handle on it with Dodd no place to go. And that's going to bring out the yellow flag. Caution lights come out. And Hallie Finch, 6th, it's Frank Jezembowski. 7th place, Brett Hearn, followed by Gary Lusher in 8th. Red Muir in 9th, Pat Van Varick rounds out the top 10 restarting order. Set to go back to racing this time around. And Jimmy Hauser brings the HP2 car down to the wire. Here we come, single file now at the halfway point. As we come out of turn number 4, the green flag flies, and we go back to racing. Hauser once again holds on to the lead. Botcher gets a nose on the inside. Botcher tries to make a move down on the inside, but the racing room gets closed up. Now, here comes Chris Crispin down the back straightaway. Crispin got the inside all to his liking, but the doctor makes the move on the outside. Danny Johnson takes the Freightliner number 6 car. Johnson up to the outside. He's battling with Crispin right now for spot number 3. Johnson grabs the number 3 spot. Now Johnson sets his sights on Botcher. Meanwhile, Botcher goes up to the outside. Here we come, and Crispin. Look out, problems down the backstretch, but they hold on to it. And Johnson cleared by for the number 1 spot. Johnson saw the inside opening and hammered down, did not look back, grabbed the number 1 spot of the HP2 car. Yellow lights come on. Caution lights come on and picked up the number 1 spot. Chris Crispin now rides back in spot number 2. Stevie Botcher currently running back there in the number 3 spot. Hallie Finch running back in spot number 4. Frank Jezembowski is 5th. Brett Hearn now rides back in spot number 6. Gary Lusher 7th. Red Muir in 8th. Jimmy Johnson 9th. And Pat Van Varick back there in spot number 10. Caution lights get turned out, and we're set to go back to some green flag racing. 13 down, 7 to go, and here we come on a turn number 4. Green flags fly, and we go back to some hot and heavy racing with Danny Johnson out there in the number 1 spot. Crispin is 2nd. Here comes Hallie Finch on the inside. He puts the move on Stevie Botcher, but it's no go this time around. Botcher holds on to the 3rd place challenge. Hallie Finch back there in spot number 4. Frank Jezembowski back in spot number 5. Brett Hearn still rides back in spot number 6. The Miller Genuine Draft number 1 car. Hearn in 6th place. Jimmy Johnson back in spot number 9. While Gary Lusher holds on to the 7th place. As we motor down the back straightaway this time, Danny Johnson now starts to stretch out that number 1 spot. The Danimal coming out of turn number 4. The Freightliner trucks of Newburgh number 6 car. Johnson very gracefully down there at turns number 1 and 2. Chris Crispin rides well back there in the 2nd spot. Stevie Botcher, the hard charger, back there in 3rd spot. Hallie Finch riding very well back in spot number 4. Frank Jezembowski, the 265 machine, runs back there and rounds out the top 5 running order. Still riding back in spot number 6 now. Hearn makes a break for the top 5 running order going down the back straightaway. Brett Hearn picks up spot number 5 off of Frank Jezembowski. Danny Johnson still holds on to the lead. Chris Crispin is 2nd. Stevie Botcher rides the outside. Rim rides down there at turns number 1 and 2 as he holds on to spot number 3. Hallie Finch rides in 4th. Brett Hearn back there in spot number 5. Gadsden Frank Jezembowski back there in spot number 6, the 265 car. We come up on 2 laps to go. 2 to go this time around for Danny Johnson. Johnson still holds on to the number 1 spot. Chris Crispin rides in second. Stevie Botcher third. Howie Finch in fourth. And Brett Hearn back in spot number 5. White flag comes out. One more time around for DJ Danny Johnson. Johnson, nice and easy down there. In turn number 2 right now, sets himself up for the back straightaway. Checkered flag and accept the fly. The winner down there in turns number 3 and 4. Looking for yet another notch in the old gun handle here in the 1992 racing season. On a Phelps, New York, the Freightliner Trucks of Newburgh, number 6 car, Danny Johnson. Second spot, Chris Crispin. Third, Stevie Botcher. Fourth place, Howie Finch, followed by Brett Hearn. Second spot, finishing in second, the number 23 of Chris Crispin. Third place, the number 53 of Stevie Botcher. Fourth place, the number 25, Howie Finch, followed by Brett Hearn. And here he is out of the car, Danny Johnson. The winner of the RCR Excavating Valve Plumbing Supply feature event. Well, Danny, back in victory lane once again, and I'll tell you, tonight you had your work cut out for you. A little bit of tricky track and a lot of hard charging out there. And, well, what went through your mind when you went down the back straightaway and saw that inside groove open?
That was my opportunity to get the lead, and, it's just unfortunate for them guys that it had to happen for them. But, I got to thank the Freightliner crew for giving me the equipment to get up here because, the car just handled superbly.
Well, we got to hand it to you as well. 3 abreast out here on a night like tonight certainly was a daring maneuver, but when you opened up your eyes, you're out there at number 1 spot. You certainly didn't look back.
Yeah, all the number 1 spot track's in pretty good shape.
Okay, Danny, back in victory lane once again. The winner, the Freightliner Trucks of Newburgh, number 6 car, Danny Johnson. That big block modified downstairs in the staging area. Wrecker will be nearby to assist him in getting that car fired up. Take it out to the tail side of the field. Howie of Ralph Hetzler having problems. They cannot fire that car up. Getting pushed back to its respective pit area right now. Meanwhile, the track is clear. The caution lights get turned out. The 30 lap big block modified feature now on tap. Ed Zachary out of Spring Valley, New York, the number 156 car up there in the number 1 spot. Olson Todd, Oldsmobile Achieva pace car, drops down to the inside. We're set for some green flag racing excitement. Here we come on a turn number 4. The green flag flies and we go racing. Zachary grabs that early race lead and Wismer looking good on the inside. Wismer looking for the number 2 spot away from Joe Garteezer as we motor down the back straightaway. Garteezer grabs the runner-up position. Joe Garteezer out of Tuxedo, New York, picking up the number 2 spot. Kenny Wismer down to the inside for spot number 3. Here we come. We've got problems on the inside. Wismer down a little bit too low, and that brings on the yellow. Yellow lights coming on. Problems down there in turns number 3 and 4. Kenny Wismer down a little bit too low on the inside, and a lot of cars getting bunched up down there in turn number 4. Danny Johnson with a flat right rear tire on that car, moving away into his own power, but he's going to have to take it back to the inside and get that right rear racing sneaker change on the Freightliner Express car. number 97X of Cozy pull away from it. Finch also pulling away into his own power. Dirk Adrian, the D&M landscaping car, moves away into his own power, as does Stan. Of course, that car will have to be taken to the infield. That was 702 of Chuck McKee having problems down there, getting caught in the worst. Currently running in second is the 95 of Whitey Kidd Jr. out of Staten Island, New York. The Edmunds Auto Wreckers number 95 car. A heat winner out here earlier tonight. Carl Van Horn running back there in the number 3 spot. The Chariot Custom Vans number 71E car. And of course, Chariot Custom Vans out of Ramsey, New Jersey. Well, they'll be a program sponsor here next Saturday night. Caution lights now get turned out. We're set to go back to green flag racing. Big block modified style on the 5/8 hard clay. Here we come out of turn number 4. The green flag flies and we go back to racing. Whitey Kidd grabs the number 1 spot. Kidd, the number 95 car. Now your new race leader. Exactly, and we've got problems in turn number 1. 74 Jeff Hetzler and the number 7 of Billy Wilson come together down there in turn number 1. And that brings out the yellow once again. The 8 would be behind the 72. Should be 6, 72, and 8 on the outside row. I'm going to try one more time to instruct the 3 drivers of that restarting order. Or else a different decision will have to be made. Clear. Caution lights now been turned out. We're set for some green flag racing once again. Here we come out of turn number 4 this time. Big block modified. Feature event back underway. And Whitey Kidd Jr. on the outside. Once again back up to the number 1 spot. Kidd on the outside. Works that number 1 groove coming out of turn number 2. And the 156 car of Ed Zachary back there in spot number 2. Look out for Howie Finch in turn number 2. Yellow lights coming back on. Now the 25 car, Howie Finch, slamming the turn 2 wall very, very hard. Brings out the caution once again. Racing once again. Here we come out of turn number 4. Whitey Kid Jr. Look out for Carl Van Horn. Coming in hard contact with the first turn wall. Going to try it once again. Front row on the outside, your current race leader, the number 95 of Whitey Kidd out of Staten Island, New York. On the inside, the number 156 of Ed Zachary out of Spring Valley, New York. Olson Todd, Oldsmobile, Achieva pace car, drops down to the inside, and we're set for green flag excitement once again. Here we come, down there in turns number 3 and 4. The big block modified, getting turned loose once again for future excitement, and we go back to racing. Whitey Kidd back to the number 1 spot. Cozy on the outside. Danny Johnson splits by on the inside. Cozy on the outside groove, and he's dropping off the pace. Something wrong with Frank Cozy. Whitey Kidd in the lead, but the challenge is on right now. Down there in turns number 3 and 4. The heat is on for the number 1 spot. Down the home straightaway, Whitey Kidd holds off the hard-charging Danny Johnson. Johnson right there in the shadows. Slingshot down to the inside. Rich Urick on the back there in the 3rd spot. Brett Hearn right back there in spot number 4. Here we come, down the back straightaway. Hearn makes a move to the outside. Jack pointed up racing room to get by Rich Urick. Danny Johnson, slingshot down to the inside. Johnson grabs the lead down in turns number 3 and 4. Danny Johnson grabbing the number 1 spot. The bottom side was open once again for the doctor, and he took advantage of it. Danny Johnson, now your new race leader, motoring down the back straightaway, says bye-bye, big blocks. Yellow light gonna come on. Problems down in turns number 1 and 2. Yellow lights come on. The 44A car, Dirk Adrians, losing a handle on it down there between turns number 1. Race leader Danny Johnson electing to start on the outside of row number 1 this time. That'll put Whitey Kidd back on the inside. Row number 2 currently restarting back in spot number 3, the 10 car of Richie Urick. Then on the outside of row number 2, restarting in 4th, the 72 of Brett Hearn. Back there in spot number 5, the Circle K car of Carl Pittenger. On the outside of row number 3, restarting in position number 6, it's the 156 of Ed Zachary. Back at row number 4, the inside, the 5 of Joe Garteser. Garteser will be restarting in spot number 7. Meanwhile, track is clear. We're set for some green flag excitement once again. The Olson Todd Oldsmobile Achieva pace car swings down to the inside. Caution lights get turned out. Race safe systems get turned off. Set for some green flag racing. Dr. J on the outside. He's your race leader this time. And possibly the outside was not the way to go, but Johnson rebounds. Here he comes on the outside. Back to the number 1 spot. Down the back straightaway we go. Brett Hearn picks up the 3rd spot down for Rich Urick. Urick now back there in the number 4 spot. Carl Pittenger back in spot number 5. Brett Hearn down to the inside. Caution lights come on. Problems down. Ricky losing a handle on the outside. Going into that 3rd turn wall down there right now, and that brings out the yellow flag in the top 5 the entire race long so far. Pittenger stays out on the straightaway. Pittenger, well, apparently just requesting his restarting position. Brett Hearn. Third spot, the number 95 of Whitey Kidd. Back in spot number 4, the 10 car, Richie Urich. Back in spot number 5, the Circle K of Carl Pittenger. Then back in spot number 6, the 156 of Ed Zachary. Right there in spot number 7, the 96 of Craig Jackson. Meanwhile, caution lights have now been turned out, and we're set to go back to racing. Big block modified style. Danny Johnson, your current race leader. Brett Hearn right there in the shadows for spot number 2. Here we come, down the home straightaway. The drag race is on. Johnson once again back to the lead, and Hearn gonna play some strategy on the inside. Here comes Brett Hearn down the back straightaway. Hearn slingshot down to the inside. Hearn got the inside groove all to his own right now, and Johnson knows he gotta take it easy on the outside. Hearn comes on a turn number 4, and Brett Hearn now grabs the number 1 spot. Hearn now your new race leader, and Johnson back there in spot number 2. Danny Johnson now running second. Whitey Kidd back there in spot number 3. Urich is 4th, and Pittenger rides back in spot number 5. Brett Hearn grabbed that number 1 spot on the inside line, and that could very well be the fast way around Orange County tonight. Hearn up at the number 1 spot, hammer down, not looking back. Johnson trying to rebound, but Hearn maybe just a little bit too tough for the DJ tonight. As Johnson back in spot number 2, and Hearn begins to pull away. Hearn, the number 1 spot right now, the number 72 card. Plays it nice and cool. Coming out of turn number 4. Johnson drawing every trick in the book right now to close up that gap, but Hearn's getting quicker and quicker as time rolls on. Johnson up on the outside, tries to keep the horsepower wound up as high as possible. Down the back straightaway they go. Whitey Kidd holds on to the 3rd spot. Richie Urich back there in spot number 4. Now Jimmy Horton, the active 2 car. He comes up to play for spot number 5. Horton now makes a break into the top 5 running order. And he could very well be a contender before this race is over. 12 laps have now been complete. Brett Hearn, your leader. Danny Johnson second. Whitey Kidd is 3rd. Rich Urich is 4th. Jimmy Horton back there in spot number 5. Carl Pittenger rides in 6th. Ed Zachary running back there in spot number 7. Craig Jackson is a Brown Petzler night. And back in spot number 10, the 406 car. That's Ricky Jr. Consistently right now, Brett Hearn rides the outside groove, going down the back straightaway. Hearn holds on to the number 1 spot. Johnson trying to close up the gap. Johnson back there in the number 2 spot, the Freightliner Trucks of Newburgh car. Johnson cannot pick up any speed over Brett Hearn. And Hearn right now slows a little bit in turns 1 and 2. Johnson keeps it wound up on the outside. Johnson picks up a couple of feet on Hearn going through the turns. Watch what happens now as we come up on the halfway point. Johnson definitely getting quicker once again. Johnson now begins the rebound on Brett Hearn. Johnson getting quicker as Hearn getting slower. Problems may be developing for Brett Hearn. Hearn now in the thick of lap traffic. Hearn eyes up the lap card. Johnson up a little bit too high. Johnson now loses out of the valuable racing space. Down the back straightaway they go. Hearn once again grabs back the distance that he had just a couple of laps ago. But what happened just a lap or 2 back? Did Hearn slow up? Did Johnson get faster? Let's see what happens now as the laps roll on. Hearn holds on to the number 1 spot. Johnson right back there in spot number 2. Urich running back in spot number 4. Whitey Kidd holds on to 3rd spot. Jimmy Horton, the active 2 car, back in spot number 5. Once again, Hearn jumps through turns number 3 and 4, and Brett Hearn choosing the inside line, coming down the straightaway. Lap traffic may become a factor for Brett Hearn and Danny Johnson. Hearn sees the lap cars ahead of him. Down the back straightaway they motor. Jazenbowski, a lap car, drops off the pace, drops down to the inside. Hearn now eyes up the back markers, tries to plan some strategy to get around the back traffic without Danny Johnson picking up any more space. Here we come. Hearn takes the inside groove to pick up the lap traffic mark. Hearn goes down to the inside. Danny Johnson, meanwhile, keeps his groove up on the outside line. Down the back straightaway, it's a picnic of back markers. Johnson once again gets on the inside of lap car Dirk Adrians. Now caught in the thick of things. It's Brett Hearn, it's Danny Johnson, nose and tail down there in lap traffic. Here we come, down the home straightaway. Hearn Hearn keeps his eye on the back markers. Works on the outside groove. Danny Johnson once again begins to reel in on race leader Brett Hearn. Here we come, down the back straightaway. Now a sigh of relief for Brett Hearn. Some open space, clear sailing ahead. Hearn looks down to the inside. Danny Johnson keeps the horsepower up on the rim shot. Here we come, this time around. 20 laps have now been complete. 20 down, just 10 more to go, and it's going to be the best 10 laps of the entire night, as loud traffic will definitely become a factor in this feature event. Down the back straightaway. Hearn goes to the outside of the back marker. That's Stan Sherman. Meanwhile, Danny Johnson knows this may be the place to catch up. Johnson rim rides once again down there in turns number 3 and 4. Comes down the home straightaway once again, nose and tail, and Johnson picking up the space over race leader Brett Hearn. Here we come, down in turns number 1 and 2. Hearn eyes up Craig Jackson, motoring down the back straightaway. Hearn goes to the outside, Johnson follows suit right behind. Johnson holds on to the number 2 spot. Whitey Kidd still third. Rich Urich back there in spot number 4. Jimmy Horton is fifth. Coming down turns number 3 and 4. Here comes Hearn down the home straightaway. Hearn on the outside. Johnson trying to get a nose in down low, but he's still got some distance to cover up. Back markers too wide down the back straightaway. Frank Cozy drops off the pace. Problems with Cozy. He heads back to the pit area. Now Johnson closes in on Hearn. Johnson looks down to the inside. Back traffic is ahead. Coming down the home straightaway. Johnson to the inside. Hearn closes up the gap. Johnson goes to the outside. Johnson once again up on the outside, but Hearn closes the gap on the outside. Hearn gets up on the outside groove, and he hammers it down the back straightaway. Now Hearn picks up some valuable space over second spot runner Danny Johnson. Johnson got to play catch-up right now. Back here in the number 2 spot. Hearn out clear sailing ahead right now for Brett Hearn. And Danny Johnson chooses the inside line around back marker Ralph Hetzler. On down the back straightaway. Brett Hearn sees the 156 car. Eyes him up as a lap car. Look out for Hearn! Hearn on the third turn left! Back up to the number 1 spot right now will be the number 6 car of Danny Johnson. And what looked to be maybe one of the most exciting races of the 1992 year. Now turn out just the opposite, and a very tough break for Brett Hearn. 25 down and 5 to go right now. Danny Johnson back up to the number 1 car himself of Joe Garteezer. 92 car Ralph Hetzler is, of course, a lap car. Way if he can keep it out front. Here we go. Back down the wire. Green flag flies, and we're back to racing. Johnson back to the number 1 spot. Whitey Kidd up there in the number 2 spot. Here comes Jimmy Horton. He's going to try and make a break for spot number 3 going down the back straightaway. Horton cannot get by. Rich Urich now in the turn. Horton slingshots down to the inside. Urich caught up on the outside groove. The race right now going on for third place down the home straightaway. Johnson holds on to the lead. Whitey Kidd is second. Rich Urich back there in spot number 3. Jimmy Horton rides back in spot number 4. Yellow lights come out. Problems. Stan Sherman drops off the pace. 156 loses a handle on it, grabs it back together. Pittenger, the Circle K car, rounds out the top 5 running order. Caution lights have now been turned out. 27 down, 3 to go. Here we come, down at turn number 3 and 4. Green lights go on, mirrors go down. We go back to racing. Johnson once again holds on to the number 1 spot. Whitey Kidd back there in spot number 2, down the back straightaway. Jimmy Horton closes in very quickly once again. A third spot runner, Richie Urich. Coming up on the 2 to go sign this time, and the battle going on back there in spot number 3. Horton tries to get a nose in on the inside. Urich keeps it up on the outside. 2 to go. Johnson holds on to the lead. The Doctor going to make it 2 in a row out here tonight. Down the back straightaway. Urich goes high. Horton slips down to the inside. Horton grabs the number 3 spot. Urich now back to spot number 4. White flag comes out. One more time around. White flag coming out this time. It's 5/8 of a mile to victory for the number 6 car of Danny Johnson. Whitey Kid running a very strong second spot. Jimmy Horton rides back in spot number 3. Rich Urich tries to get by once again, but time's running out for Urich. Carl Pittenger back there in the number 5 spot. Checkered flag coming out this time. The winner of the 30-lap Big Block Modified Feature event, the Danable Danny Johnson. Second spot, Whitey Kid. Third place is Jimmy Horton, followed by Rich Urich and Carl Pittenger. Victory lane for the second time tonight, the number 6 car, Danny Johnson. Second spot, the number 95 of Whitey Kid. Third spot, the active 2 car of Jimmy Horton. Fourth place, the number 10 of Richie Urich, followed by the Circle K of Carl Pittenger. Johnson. Well, Danny, once again, it was a dogfight up there to the front, and Brad Hearn was really going at it out there. He had the lead, and did you think you were ever going to get back?
I can't believe the racing here. I mean, I got to thank their crew for letting us use our tools on our tire change, and, he had an unfortunate accident run into the lap car. It was a good race up until then.
You ever think it was going to end up like this after Brett got by you?
Well, no. I mean, you never know, but I just can't believe the luck I'm having so far this season.
An outstanding job once again. Danny Johnson back in victory lane for the second time tonight. The Freightliner Trucks of Newburgh, number 6. Well, it's going to be Dirt Sportsman.
Skip Travis, a beautiful number 28, starts back in spot number 7. So the caution lights get turned out around the speedway as the beautiful 1992 Olsen Todd Oldsmobile Achieva pace car gets ready to let him loose down in turn number 3. Mark Tomlins and Ray Ackerley side by side up there between turns number 3 and 4. Green flag set to fly this time as they hit between turns number 3 and 4. Tomlins in car number 27. Ray Ackerley, very, very potent on the outside. Get ready to go up at turn number 4. They hit the giddy up. Go ahead, Mark, up at turn number 4. Green flag flies it down and front straightaway we go. Ray Ackerley powers away down the front straightaway, grabbing the number 1 spot away from Tomlins with Mike Pallone right behind as they head between turns number 1 and 2. Tomlins holds on to the number 2 spot, but Pallone works him over on the high side. Swings by him down the back straightaway, takes over spot number 2. Here comes Don Elliott. Elliott now breaks into the top 4 running order as he also begins to challenge Tomlin down between turns number 3 and 4. Ray Ackerley way out front right now, easing away down the front straightaway with Mike Pallone second. Don Elliott now working up on the high side, takes over spot number 3. Down towards turn number 1 they go, but the caution out around the speedway. Turn number 4. Ray Ackerley, Mike Pallone, side by side to get set to come off at turn number 4. Ackerley, your number 1 man, as the green flag flies once again. Ray Ackerley out of Katona, New York, powers the 00 to the number 1 spot with Johnny Finley following suit now down as they head down to turn number 1. Finley grabs the runner-up spot away as Pallone now drops back to 3rd. Finley now working over Ackerley off at turn number 2. Glued to the back bumper off at turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Finley holds on to the number 2 spot. Keep your eyes on Steve Birchwell. Birchwell now making his way up in the top 5 running order as John Finley takes over the number 1 spot away from Ray Ackerley. Ackerley now back in the run-up position as John Finley knows the quick way around, finds the easy way down the front straightaway, holding on to the number 1 spot. Steve Birchwell now battling it out with Kevin Van Valkenburg. Valkenburg holds on to spot number 5, but here comes Birchwell. Birchwell swings by him. Now he closes in the gap on Don Elliott. Off to turn number 2. Birchwell swings it down to the low side, takes over spot number 4. Elliott now rounding out the top 5 as J.D. Taylor begins to work his way up through the pack with the Pepsi-Cola number 6. Meanwhile, off at turn number 4, race leader John Finley holding on to a comfortable margin with Ray Ackerley. Holding on to second spot with Pallone doing a fine job back at spot number 3. Steve Birchwell now closing in very, very quickly on Mike Pallone as they get set to come off at turn number 2. Birchwell from the high side swings it down low, tries to take over spot number 3. Pallone now back to spot number 4, and Bill Haley rounding out the top 5 in the Top Gun Auto Body 99H. Off at turn number 4, John Finley stretching out the number 1 margin, holds a lead of about 15 car lengths now as they head down between turns number 1 and 2. Ackerley now holding on to number 2 spot with Burschwell, trying desperately to close the gap. Off the turn number 2, Burschwell guides the RPMs up on the high side, closing in quickly now as they head down towards turn number 3. Trying to make now a move on to second place man of Ray Ackerley as we come off of turn number 4. Halfway down, 5 laps, 5 to go for race leader John Finley. Steve Burschwell now tries to close in on Ackerley as they head down towards turn number 1 and 2. J.D. Taylor now working his way into the top 4 running order, holding on to spot number 4 with Mike Malone, rounding out the top 5. Eddie Redner and Tommy Meyer trying to work their way through the back of the pack right now, running back about 9th and 10th, but meanwhile John Finley, very, very comfortable up on the front end right now, holds about a 10-car length advantage as they go by the start-finish line. Ray Ackerley running strong right back there in spot number 2. Mike Malone with problems in car number 5 as they head down towards turn number 1. A left rear flat tire on the 5. He'll be taking it back to the pit area. Meanwhile, J.D. Taylor now begins to close in on Burschwell. In between turns number 3 and 4, Malone problems down the back straightaway. Everybody sneaking by him as they go down with Finley. Now going by the start-finish line. Ackerley running back a spot number 2. Caution out around the speedway. So the caution lights get turned out around the speedway. John Finley, a many-time feature winner in the street stock divisions, never finding himself a victory lane in the Dirt Sportsman, has 3 more laps to go if he's going to do it tonight. But Ray Ackerley, Steve Burschwell, and J.D. Taylor, all very powerful Dirt Sportsmen, get set to follow him down as the green flag flies off the turn number 4. John Finley knows he's got his work cut out for him right now as Steve Burschwell looks up to the high side of Ackerley in between turns number 1 and 2. Burschwell, a 2-time feature winner already in 1992, swings by Ackerley, dropping him back to spot number 3, and here comes J.D. Taylor following suit. Taylor, very, very powerful down in between turns number 3 and 4, doing a little bumper-to-bumper action down in between turns number 3 and 4. Off the turn number 4, 8 laps down and 2 to go for race leader Johnny Finley. Finley now holds on to about a 2-car length advantage as Steve Burschwell, trying to close the gap as John Finley holds on to the 1 spot. J.D. Taylor and Ray Ackerley look out over turn number 2 and number 1 takeover. Steve Burschwell trying to take the number 1 spot away. Finley keeps it down on the low side. Steve Burschwell on the high side swings by Finley, grabs the number 1 spot away in the nick of time. 9 laps down and 1 to go for race leader Steve Burschwell. He heads down towards turn number 1. John Finley looks down to the low side, trying to hold on to spot number 2. J.D. Taylor now holding on to spot number 3. Caution out around the speedway. The tail end of the field as everybody goes by the incident down here on the front straightaway. 2 having problems with the left rear racing sneaker on that now. He'll probably be taking that back to the pit area as he swings it down at turn number 1. That gives the runner-up position to Ray Ackerley. Very quietly, Kevin Van Valkenburg having himself a fine race, running back in spot number 3 right now. Also with some tire trouble on his Dirt Sportsman. So Ray Ackerley going to be taking the 00 back to the pit area. That gives Kevin Van Valkenburg the runner-up position. So Kevin doing very well for himself here this evening, picking up 3 positions under caution here as the luck would have it. Now finds him. So the caution lights being turned out around the speedway. Track is now clear. Steve Burschwell knows it's time to go racing, this time off of turn number 4. Burschwell out of Westwood, New Jersey. 2 feature wins already in the 92 season. 4 more left-hand turns. He's going to make it number 3 on the year. Green flag set to fly. Green and white simultaneously as they come down the front straightaway toward turn number 1. Steve Burschwell hangs on to the 1 spot as now Tommy Meyer begins to work over Eddie Redner for spot number 3. Meyer up on the high side. Now mounts the challenge as they head down the back straightaway. Takes over spot number 3 as Kevin Van Valkenburg tries to close the gap between himself and number 1 Steve Burschwell. Getting set to come on for turn number 4. Dual checkered flags are flying for the 3rd time in 1992. Out of Westwood, New Jersey, your feature winner, Steve Burschwell. Second place by a whisker, the 20K of Kevin Van Valkenburg. 3rd is Tommy Meyer. And the 8th position goes to the 3 of Sal Macchio. Row number 5 on the inside, the 34 of Chris Du Bois and the J3 of Craig Braun. row number 6.
This evening, we will be starting at 6:30 next Saturday night, and we will open the show with the remainder of the 2 street stock feature events. That's if we do not get the street stock feature events completed before the curfew tonight.
So up on the front row, we've got the 36 of Robert Scott. So the caution lights have been turned out. The beautiful Olson Todd Oldsmobile Achieva pace car paces the field of street stocks down between turns number 3 and 4. Robert Scott and Pat Bruno up there on the number 1 row. Get ready to come off of turn number 4. Green flag set to fly this time as you get up. Go ahead, Mark. Grand green flag up in the air as they come off of turn number 4. Pat Bruno, very, very anxious from the high side. Swings down to the number 1 spot with Don Pomerico following suit right behind. Lane Krapinski back there in spot number 3 with the Kevin's Auto Body. Number 44, Sal Macchio out of Bethel, Connecticut, closes in down the back straightaway, running in spot number 4, and here comes Chris Du Bois, now working his way into the top 5. Sal Macchio now grabs the number 3 spot away with the Joy's Auto Wrecking, number 3. Up on the front end right now, Pat Bruno holds on to the number 1 spot with Don Pomerico, closing in very, very quickly with the JPM Competition Engine sponsored mount off of turn number 4. Pomerico swings it up to the high side as they head down towards turn number 1. Putting the power of number 101 of Pat Bruno back to spot number 2. Side by side they go between turns number 1. Sal Macchio sitting right behind, waiting for either one of them to make a mistake this time as they head off a turn number 2. Pomerico up on the high side, Bruno down there on the low side by side once again down the back straightaway. Down towards turn number 3, Bruno holds onto a very slim advantage, but here comes Pomerico up on the high side. Puts the right foot down just a little bit harder now, but Bruno says, no you don't, I've got the number 1 spot. Here comes Sal Macchio. Macchio now closing in very, very quickly as Don Pomerico now swings by, grabs the number 1 spot away. Pat Bruno and Sal Macchio go at it for spot number 2 right now with Lane Krapinski just behind both of them. Macchio now swings up to the high side, grabs the number 2 spot away from Pat Bruno. Lane Krapinski, Mike Murphy makes it 3 wide down in between turns number 3 and 4. Mike Murphy making a bonsai move, grabbing spot number 3 away, now closes in on Sal Macchio. Macchio back there in the number 2 spot, now being challenged by Murphy. Murphy looks down the low side, not enough racing room this time as Sal Macchio closes the doors to head down between turns number 1 and 2. Don Pomerico, still your race leader out of Beacon, New York. We've got him going to go 3 abreast off of turn number 2. Macchio in the middle. Mr. Bill Rick grabs the number 1 spot away. Look out for Pat Bruno. Lane Krapinski gets it around on the backstretch, does a 360, keeps it straightened out. Bumping and a grinding as they go down towards turn number 3. Caution lights out around the speedway. As Chris Du Bois also rejoining at the tail end of the field. So the caution lights have been turned out. The beautiful 1992 Olson Todd Oldsmobile Achieva pace car sets them free down in turn number 3. Don Pomerico out of Beacon, New York, first-year driver here at the Orange County Speedway, has the number 1 spot at the moment. But Mr. Bill Rick out of Middletown, New York, right behind there as the green flag flies this time off of turn number 4. Pomerico down on the low side. Here we go. Good battle shaping up for spot number 2 is Jimmy Cancel. Now swings it down low with the PNC trucking number 72 as Mr. Bill Rick looks up to the high side. The W&W Truck Center high-pressure mobile wash number 87 grabs the number 1 spot away. Jimmy Cancel now tries to get by Pomerico, but Pomerico says, no you don't, I'm going to ride you up. I'm taking that number 2 spot as LaJoy's Auto Wrecking number 3. Sal Macchio now gets into the top 3 in running order. Bill Rick way out front right now as they come off of turn number 2. 6 steps down and 2 to go for race leader Bill Rick. Frankie DeRosa now rounds out the top 5 running order as he closes in very quickly on 4th running Jimmy Cancel. Pomerico now holding him back as Sal Macchio tries to close the gap as Cancel now looks down to the low side of Macchio. Down the back straightaways they head towards turn number 3. Macchio holds on to the number 3 spot. Cancel backs out of it just for a moment as DeRosa now holding on to spot number 5 closes in. Meanwhile, way out front for a Saturday night cruise right now is the 87 of Mr. Bill Rick with a half a straightaway lead. The W&W Truck Center high-pressure mobile wash number 87 hangs on to the number 1 spot between turns number 1 and 2. Off of turn number 2, big advantage now for race leader Bill Rick as he holds on to second spot would be Don Pomerico. Sal Macchio and Jimmy Cancel go at it for spot number 3 with Mike Murphy now rounding out the top 5. Getting set to come off of turn number 4. Here he comes, ladies and gentlemen, out of Middletown, New York. Your feature winner for the first time in 1992, the 87 of Mr. Bill Rick. Finishing second would be Don Pomerico. Third would be the 3 of Sal Macchio. Fourth, the 72 of Jim Cancel. And fifth, the 36 of Mike Murphy. Dirt Sportsman, event number 2 coming out.
Pace car swings down to the inside. We're set to go racing. Dirt Sportsman style. Had to come down on a turn number 4 this time. Green flag flies, and here we go. Lloyd Rose picks up the number 1 spot. Jake Schlegel down to the inside. For spot number 2, Keith Nunemaker, the 61D car. Right there for third. Look out for race leader Floyd Rose. He's in trouble in turn number 2. 75 car, as he lost the handle on things down there in turn number 2. Jim Tewitt Sr. on the outside. The Kleppers Auto Parts number 318 car going to be restarting this event in spot number 2. Keith Nunemaker, the 61D car. Caution lights have now been turned out. Set for some green flag. Dirt Sportsman racing once again. Olson Todd, Oldsmobile Achieva pace car, set to swing down to the inside. Jake Schlegel knows he's the pole sitter, and he's going to be the pace setter right now once the pace car swings down to the inside. Schlegel brings him down there in turns number 3 and 4. Jim Tewitt on the outside, set to go back to some green flag racing action. Second 10-lap Dirt Sportsman feature event, and here we go. Down the home straightaway, Jim Tewitt Sr. grabs the number 1 spot. Tewitt wasting no time, slingshotting down to the number 1 spot. Nunemaker on the outside, the 61D car. Nunemaker tries the high side, going down the back straightaway. Jake Schlegel right there for spot number 3. Nunemaker not backing down, keeping up on the outside groove. Nunemaker now pulls up alongside of Jim Tewitt. Tewitt down to the inside. The drag race is on for the number 1 spot. Here we come, down the home straightaway right now, and Tewitt loses out the number 1 punch as Nunemaker grabs the first spot. Nunemaker now your new race leader in the 61D car. Nunemaker your leader, but the yellow lights come on. Caution lights have now been turned out, set to go back to some green flag racing. The Olson Todd Oldsmobile Achieva pace car gets the word to bring it down to the inside, and Keith Nunemaker knows we're going back to some green flag excitement. Nunemaker on the inside, the 61D car. Jim Tewitt on the outside. Tewitt going to try and regain that lead he had just a lap ago. Here we come, back to the green flag, and we go back to racing. Nunemaker back to the number 1 spot. Jim Tewitt right there in spot number 2. Billy Green grabs the 3rd spot. Jake Schlegel back there now in spot number 4. Elmer Sears rounds out the top 5 running order as we motor down the back straightaway. Sears tries to come on to the outside of Schlegel. Sears dropping back to the inside groove. The James Way 517 car now up to spot number 6. Bobby Ryder, the James Way Department Store sponsored small block Sportsman car. And he's up there in the number 6 spot right now. Jim Tewitt begins to feel the heat on the outside from Billy Green, the Green's auto body machine. Billy Green, very powerful on a turn number 2 down the back straightaway, but Jim Tewitt holds on to the number 2 spot. Tewitt back there in the runner-up order right now. Billy Green right there like a shadow in spot number 3. Jake Schlegel rides in spot number 4. Elmer Sears back in spot number 5, and Bobby Ryder rounds out the top 6. Nunemaker, Keith Nunemaker, the 61D car, holds on to the lead. Jim Tewitt back there in the number 2 spot. Billy Green runs in 3rd. Jake Schlegel is 4th. Elmer Sears back in spot number 5. The battle is on for spot number 6 right now. Bob Ryder takes that James Way Department Store 517 car down to the inside. The opening is there for Ryder. And Ryder picks up the number 5 spot. As we come down the home straightaway, Bob Ryder up there in the number 4 spot right now, but the yellow lights go on. Yellow lights come on. Jake Schlegel, the 37. Todd Oldsmobile Achieva pace car drops down to the inside. Keith Nunemaker looking for win number 1 here in the 1992 racing season. Nunemaker down to the inside. The green lights come on. The hammers go down. We go back to Dirt Sportsman feature action. And this time Jim Tewitt says, I'm not wasting any time at all. Grabs back the number 1 spot. Tewitt takes it down to the inside. Coming down the back straightaway, but here comes Nunemaker back on the outside. Donamaker tries to build up the horsepower to make an outside takeover. It's no-go as Stewart holds on to the lead. Here comes Billy Green down to the inside. 3 cars look for the lead right now, coming out of turn number 4. Stewart brings that field of dirt Sportsman down the home straightaway. Stewart holds on to the lead. Donamaker is second. Billy Green third. Bob Ryder back there in spot number 4. And Tom Perego rounds out the top 5 running order. Jim Stewart Sr. pedals down the back straightaway, starts to build up some distance between himself and Keith Donamaker. Donamaker back there in the number 2 spot, coming up on the halfway point this time. 5 laps down and 5 to go right now for the 318 of Jim Stewart. Stewart holds on to lead. Donamaker back there in spot number 2. Billy Green still third. Bobby Ryder rides back there in spot number 4. And John Perego rounds out the top 5. Bobby Dyke now takes over spot number 6. Lenny Bogart is 7th. Elmer Sears is 8th. Carol Birchwell 9th. And here comes Barry Huber for spot number 10. Huber and Bruning side by side right now for the number 10 spot. Jim Stewart, very, very consistent out here this evening, stretching out the number 1 spot. From second spot, runner Keith Donamaker. Lap traffic coming up. Stewart looks to the outside. Problems down along the back straightaway. Yellow lights coming on. 41 car maker second. Billy Green third. Bob Ryder back there in spot number 4. Tom Perego running in 5th. Bobby Knight is 6th. Lenny Bogart 7th. Carol Birchwell 8th. Jeff Bruning in 9th. Stan Jablonka back in spot number 10. Olson Todd, Oldsmobile Achieva pace car, back down to the inside. 4 more times around, and it's going to be a feature win, and Jim Stewart. Stewart holds on to the lead once again. Donamaker right back there in spot number 2. Billy Green tries to pick up the horsepower on the inside, going down the back straightaway. Green looks down to the inside line, puts the challenge on for spot number 2. Green's auto body car puts the heat on the 61B of Keith Donamaker. Donamaker holds true to his word down there in turn number 4 and holds off the hard-charging 24 car of Billy Green. Green running in 3rd. Bobby Ryder back there in spot number 4. Tom Perego rounds out the top 5. Lenny Bogart picks up spot number 6. Coming up on 2 to go. 2 to go this time around. Billy Green up a little too high down there in 3 and 4 as he tries to get by Donamaker. Green drops out of the top 5 on that move. Donamaker up there in spot number 2. Bobby Ryder now running in 3rd. Here comes Tom Perego on the outside. Perego slingshots, rim rides on a turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. Perego, the RCR excavating car, now picks up spot number 3. White flag going to fly this time. Jim Stewart Sr. brings the 318 car down the home straightaway. The spar heating special. Donamaker back there in spot number 2. John Perego. Perego running very, very hard on the outside. The RCR car. 3 abreast out of turn number 2. Perego up a little bit too high. Ryder slips by for spot number 3. Bob Ryder, the James Way Department Stores Colonial Diner 517 car. Now picking up spot number 3. Coming out for the checkered flag this time. The winner of the second Dirt Sportsman feature is Jim Stewart. Second spot, Keith Donamaker. 3rd, Bob Ryder, followed by Tom Perego and Billy Green. Out here this evening, it's Jim Stewart walking home with the second Dirt Sportsman feature win this evening. Second spot was the 61D of Keith Donamaker in victory lane, and what a better way to celebrate your 51st birthday. Just by a half hour.
I started the race when I was 50, and I ended it when I'm 51. That's pretty good.
Took you a whole year to win that feature, huh? Outstanding job you did out there tonight, and I'll tell you, not an easy night for racing here at Orange County, but you look better than them all in that second Dirt Sportsman feature.
I think the track's in pretty good shape.
You like running on this stuff, and Keith Donamaker back there didn't let you out of his sight the whole time long, but once you got by him, you certainly didn't look back.
Well, that's the way I like to race.
Congratulations once again, an outstanding job. Jim Stewart Sr. in the 318 car. You just can do no wrong in the 1992 year.
Well, I think
It's mainly because I still have my sister's tires for 3 weeks in a row. I got a couple of people to thank tonight. I'd like to thank the 92 guys for giving me gas so I could race this thing because we're out of gas. And especially Ken Hermans, my car owner, has been setting it up. And it's on the money every week. You know, I just get in and drive it. So thanks everybody.
Well, you came up through the pack very, very quickly, and a lot of drivers are saying they love the way the track is tonight.
Oh boy, if it was like this every week, you could race anywhere on the track. It was fast, it's tacky, and the car just hooks up. I went to the outside, the track was there, and I stuck with it.
Well, you certainly used it to your advantage out here tonight. Third time in victory lane for 1992. Congratulations, Steve Birchwell, out of Westwood, New Jersey. And Rick, we'll hand this to you right now so you can get your street stock interview.
A few times in 91. You're back in 92. How'd it feel?
It felt great. We finally got there. It was a good feeling.
How was the track out there? Fast?
Beautiful. Taking the outside groove was really nice. I'd like to say thanks W&W, Brim Recyclers, and everybody else who helped us out in the car.
Tonight we have an extra bonus for you. Sunglow Fuels was sponsoring the street stock events here this evening. Now the only one that was run here this evening was yours. The first street stock to come across the line in each of the three features that was running Sunglow Fuel, Sunoco Fuel, is going to pick up an extra $50 plus a trophy. So how does that make you feel?
It feels real great. It's nice.
So a profitable evening, a feature win. Congratulations on a great race.
Thanks a lot, Rich.
All right, Del Rick, who picked up the victory in the street stock feature.